Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Anastasia, and in my videos I usually speak about studies and careers in Europe and specifically in France. I came to France 8 years ago as a foreign student and I got 50,000 euros of different scholarships from the top French business schools. So in this video I would tell you about how did I make it and how you can increase your chances and get the same. So let's get started. First thing I wanted to tell you guys is that there are many scholarships out there. There are government grants, excellent scholarships, diversity scholarships, and many others. So first of all, do not let the crazy amount of tuition fees scare you and renounce to a great education. Second, in this video, I'll be talking about excellence or merit-based scholarships given directly by the schools. These are those I received from French business schools. I'm going to state them all here for a total amount of more than 50,000 euros. So first, how does it work? Excellent scholarships are given to the best candidates that are admitted to a certain program. One thing you need to know is that you do not need to specifically apply for those. When the admission committee admits everybody, they just sit down and decide to whom and how much money they are willing to give. This is what is called excellent scholarships from the schools. Sometimes you may need to write an additional cover letter or provide some financial documents to show that you're really in the need of the scholarship. But for all these French business schools I mentioned and for most others in Europe, there is no need to additionally apply for this kind of scholarship. Second, how much does it cover? Sometimes, rarely, it can go up to 100% of your tuition fees in some schools. Most of the time, these merit-based scholarships go only up to 50% of the tuition fees. My biggest scholarship, as you saw, was from ESSEC business school, and it was roughly around 50% of the tuition fees. There is also apprenticeship contract. I have another video about this. This is a work contract in France that completely covers all your tuition fees and allows you to get a salary. But that's a different thing. You can combine both, and that was exactly my case in ESSEC. Next point that you need to know is why actually schools do give out the scholarships. All schools want great candidates, and many of them are actually committed to diversity in their class. They are very well aware that business programs are quite expensive and they do not want to lose brilliant candidates just for the financial reasons. And then second point in this is that it's like companies. It's not only them who choose, but also you. You will choose between different schools exactly like I did. And sometimes schools just want to attract great candidates and make them come to their school and not to the competitors, because you're going to be a great alumni, have a brilliant career, and improve their rankings further. So there is a battle for great candidates, exactly as for the companies. And that's exactly what happened to me actually. I was admitted to HEC, which is the school #1 in France, and I went to ESSEC, and by the way, I never regretted this. And one of the reasons was because they gave me a way bigger scholarship. Now, let's see what actually matters for the scholarship and how do you get it. First is academic excellence. Your previous university, how well is it ranked, and your grades. In my case, I had a first honors degree from University of London, with which I had a double degree program back in Moscow, and pretty good grades in my Russian university. It also includes all the co-curricular achievements like your thesis or like some conferences or other kind of scientific presentations or research. I didn't have any of that. However, I had a high GMAT, which matters a lot for the scholarships. Sometimes schools even put a specific scholarship saying that, let's say we're going to give a 5% or 10% discount to everybody who has a GMAT higher than 700 or 720. I had a 730 score, which is pretty high, so it helped me a lot as well to get my scholarship. Then what matters for the scholarship is everything that makes you stand out as a candidate. It may be professional experience or your different extracurricular activities, your achievements, your impact, and whatever brilliant things you did before applying to the school. In my case, I had a few internships already in my resume, and one of them was in Unilever in Moscow, another one in L'Oreal in Russia, and the third one in L'Oreal in Paris. So I had big names in my CV. I also had the beginning of a tiny blog in Russian. I was giving some guided tours in my first year in Paris, and I was tutoring freshmen back in my university in Russia. I was also doing some dance, but not exactly as a professional, so there was just a little addition. I was traveling around a lot. I was learning languages abroad. I was studying marketing in a summer course in Paris, and then also having my first master's degree in Paris before ESSEC and HEC. That's about how my profile looked at the time. And also essays, motivational letters, and your interview play a role in this excellent scholarship. You should convince the committee that you're not only a good enough candidate for that school, you stand out, you're exceptional, you have a very clear career plan, you know what you want to achieve and how, and you're gonna contribute to the school rankings and success further on. So they will have all the interest to provide you with a scholarship and attract your profile. Also, I can't tell you that it's an important factor or not, but you can tell to admission committee and tell them that you actually do need a scholarship. I did that. People from admission committees to whom I talked to, they told me, okay, we heard you. And the person from ESSEC actually told me that, yes, I think you have some good chances for a scholarship and I will look into your file more precisely. I don't think it was the essential part of me getting the scholarship, but it probably played a role. So I advise you to mention this while you're meeting informally with recruitment officers or with admission committee and discuss your application. Then what I really need you to understand is that there is no perfect candidate. There is no such person who ran a marathon and created a startup and also had excellent grades and also studied for the GMAT and scored 760 and all of this. It's impossible. Every candidate who's admitted to a business school has some very strong points, some average points, and some weak points, and that's totally fine. It's when you know that you stand out on at least a few criteria, that's already a lot, and that's going to help you a lot. Actually, if you're really keen on getting a scholarship, you can just think of your master admission really way ahead and think, okay, how can I make my profile stand out? Will I pursue the application to different internships in big companies and try to make an impact there? Or am I going to participate, for example, in some case championships to stand out of other students? Or will I take one hobby of mine and bring it to a more serious personal project and stand out like that? Or maybe I have an entrepreneurship idea, or maybe I'm creative and I create a blog or a gallery or a channel or whatever. So there are just many ways to make you special and different. And my only advice would be pick something that's really interesting for you, that you feel passionate about, and just bring it one step further, more than everybody else does. And that would be also one of the criteria for the scholarships. To sum up, there are many ways to finance your education, and excellent scholarships are just one of them. They can get pretty high, as you saw in my case, and in some schools the criteria are quite precise actually. Sometimes they would say, we're looking for people who made an impact in some sustainable development initiatives, or for female leaders, or for female leaders in tech or in automobile industry. Or we're just looking for people who have outstanding grades and have great professional experience. So all scholarships are different, and if you have a stellar profile that stands out, you have all the chances on your side. If you want to know about all the scholarships that are available in the top master management programs in Europe, you can check out the link I will put in the comments. This is a database of master management programs that I am building right now, and I try to put all the maximum information that you need to select your program, including precise details about what kind of scholarship every school is offering. So check it out. You can find diversity, merit-based, need-based scholarships all described in the program file for every MIM program. That's it for today, guys. I hope that this video was useful for you, that you learned more about scholarships. And if you have any questions, please, you can drop them in the comments. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to know more about studies and careers in Europe.